If you were to ask me to name the most terrifying and cruel things that people have done to one another over the last 100 years or so, I would probably reference the Nazi Holocaust or genocide in Rwanda. I might also mention the terrorism that occurred on September 11th, or the more recent shootings at Virginia Tech University. In all likelihood, I would not mention an instance in which a mother had abused her own children. However, after reading The Rules of Survival by Nancy Werlin, I am seriously rethinking my perspective. At the start of this novel, we are introduced to Matt and his two siblings, who live in the South End of Boston along with their mother, Nikki. Nikki is a complex and paradoxical character. On the one hand, she can be extremely loving, caring, even generous to her children. On the other hand, she can be unaccountably cruel and vengeful in response to the behavior of her kids and her own insecurities. As you might imagine, Matt and his siblings are often confused by Nikki's behavior. And Matt in particular is obsessed with the idea of escaping Nikki's influence. In fact, he's obsessed to such a degree that when he observes a man in a checkout line at a store step up and stop another man from abusing his young child, Matt begins to think that perhaps this is a person he can talk to and somehow connect with for the purpose of solving his problem. Matt is an extremely creative and industrious fellow, and so he works together with his younger sister to obtain the address and phone number and name of this man. Unfortunately, just as he's about to call this man, his mother Nikki discovers the note on which Matt has written all of the pertinent information. And what Nikki tells Matt shocks him. Nikki tells Matt that she is going to introduce herself to this man and establish a romantic relationship with him. If you want to find out how this story resolves itself, go out and get The Rules of Survival by Nancy Werlin. Werlin is a highly accomplished mystery writer. She's won several awards, and this book is on the 2007 Top 10 Best Books for Young Adults list, put out by the American Library Association. Werlin is masterful in telling this story. It's a tremendous ride with all kinds of twists and turns. But what is perhaps most interesting about this tale is the way that Werlin uses it to explore why it is so difficult for people to step up and do the right thing in the face of cruelty and terrorism. At the same time, she also uses the story to explore the sometimes unintended and dangerous consequences of trying to make a difference in the world and of stepping up and taking action in the face of true evil. The Rules of Survival by Nancy Werlin. It's a little edgy, it's a little scary, but it's well worth the journey.